Hey, boys and girls, we are here today to talk about another part of our narrative writing lesson. So, listen to this lesson all the way through, and then you will open up your Google Slides and you will complete the activities that I'm going to model for you today. Again, we're taking this step by step so that before we start writing, we're not too overwhelmed and we've really organized our thoughts and thought it through. So today I'm going to be starting on slide 25, which is entitled The Lesson You Learned, and this part is pretty short and sweet. You are simply going to type in the lesson that you learned from your story that you're going to tell us, okay? So I've written right here in green that I learned to respect nature and never put your foot in a hole, right? I've typed that right here. Is that what you're going to type on your slide? No, because that's not your story. But you're going to type your lesson on slide 25, what you learned right here, because I want you to keep going back to that because that's going to be the theme of your story. You have to have that central in your mind the whole time you're writing. Okay. If we move on and we look at slide 26, it has these pictures over here in black and white to remind us that we are talking today about imagery, and imagery is connecting our five senses to our story. We want to make sure that we give our reader lots of imagery from our story. It makes them feel like they were there and it makes them understand what you felt when you were experiencing this event. So, just like we've learned in studying poetry, right? We talk about poetry, our keywords, and then we move up here and we talk about our imagery. Using imagery and your five senses paints a better picture for your reader. So, you can talk about what you hear, what you see, what you taste, what you smell, or what you felt or touched, right? Remember, you probably won't have all five of those. You might, but probably not. And if you do, don't do them all bam, 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 all together. Just sprinkle some here, and then another paragraph or two later, sprinkle this one. Don't put them all together, okay? Because that's too much, all right? It looks like a list, and that's not what we're trying to get here. We're trying to invite your reader, pull your reader into your story. So the bulk of what you're going to do today is going to be on slide 27 entitled Sensory Details. This is where you're going to go ahead and organize and lay out what it is that you plan to talk about. And so to do that, you need to reflect on the big climax moment of your story about and what imagery can you bring into that. So if we look here at mine, it says describe what you saw, right? I saw yellow jackets flying frenzy all over the place. I saw fallen dried brown leaves on the forest floor. And I saw how far off her house was because her house, it was a big, big forest behind her house. We were not terribly close by, right? All right, then describe what I heard, right? Different times during my story, I heard the buzzing of all those yellow jackets. I heard the screaming of Elizabeth getting stung and Robin and I freaking out trying to figure out what to do. And then I heard the crunching of the falling leaves as we were walking out to the hole and then as I was running back up to the house as fast as I could. Right? There's all different times when I might include something about something I heard. What did I smell? I kind of smell that smell of fall leaves. If you crunch them up, and you can just kind of smell them. That's about the only thing I really smelled. I didn't taste anything. You might have tasted something in your story, in which case, included here. I didn't taste anything. And then describe what you felt, what I touched, right? So I felt the yellow jacket stings because I was getting stung too, not nearly as badly as my dear friend. I felt that adrenaline, that panic feeling when your heart starts racing so fast. Um, Before the whole attack happened, I felt cool fall, crisp air. Okay. This, when you're using imagery, is also a good time when you can double up and you can use some similes, right? You can think about what you felt, what you smelled, what you saw, and then that's a good time to think about those things and then turn them into a simile or a metaphor, something like that. Just it's a great time to kind of tie some of those really good language skills together. So boys and girls, again today you're going to go through pages 25, 26, and 27. On 25, you're going to write your lesson that you learned that's going to be kind of the theme of your story. On 26, it's just a place to remind you and reflect on what it is you're going to talk about for your imagery. And then 27, you're going to fill out this table. You need to have at least 3 of them completed. Okay, you don't have to have all 5, but you must do at least 3. You might fill out all 5, but not use all 5, but you need to have at least 3 of them filled in. And this slide is entitled Sensory Details. Make sure if you have slides missing from earlier on, like maybe one day you didn't get around to it, that you go back and you fill those in because these are going in every day's grades. Okay, so if you've gotten behind, get yourself caught up. Okay, All right, boys and girls. I'm enjoying reading these. I think these are going to make amazing stories, and I am just looking forward to doing some writers workshop with you while we go through them. Boys and girls, have a great day, and I will be reading these soon. Take care.